Right, Super Sunday favourite here for the Stairs Hurdle. Nicola, give us a rundown on this.
Yeah, Super Sunday 3-1 became the favourite for the race after beating Faugheen at Leopardstown in February. Sam Spinner is in there as well at 4-1 and showed what he was capable of at Ascot when he saw Flammy Surge, and you know what I mean, Harry. And then after that, you've got Yanworth at 5-1, and yeah.
Are you with Super Sunday? Do you think there's something better in here?
I'm not 100% sure about Super Sunday. 2 times he's run at 3 miles, he just got run out of it at the death, and then you can't say that he didn't stay, but he didn't finish the strongest. And you know, you see time and time and again, you know, at Cheltenham up that final hill, you know, they can just get run out of it. And I have a feeling he might. I backed La Bago Ra a few weeks ago. I don't think she'll end up here now. And it's funny, you go to these preview nights, you get all these sorts of rumours going around, and half of them will be absolute rubbish, you know. But one of them that was going around last week was that a certain Tony Bloom has been trying to purchase a boxer at any cost for Penn Hill on the Thursday, and I'd almost forgotten about him. And then I went back and looked, I'd forgotten just how easily he beat Mona Lee in the Albert Butler last year, and of course he hasn't run since. I don't know whether that was the plan or not. But I mean, if he returns to that sort of form, then you know he's got to be a serious runner.
Penn Hill, Patrick?
He's in great form. That wasn't the plan to come here without. He got a bit of a setback at the start of the season, and but he's back in full training, and again, he's as fit as we can have him. Holly Conte, the same girl who rides Duvan, told me today that she thinks this is her nap of the festival, so she's very happy with him anyway. She's delighted with him, and you know he won so easy last year, so impressively. And you know Mona Lee in second, looks strong form. You know he handles the track, the trip. He has lots of experience. So even though he's a second season novice, he's ran I think 7 or 8 times. So you're not worried about that. He schooled over the hurdles in the Curragh the other day, and he was foot perfect. So again, it's not ideal you're going there without a prep run, but you have to play the cards the way you're dealt. So I think at 8-1. It looks a wide open race.
It does look a deeper race than it perhaps looked like it was going to be maybe in November, December time, doesn't it?
Yeah, well sometimes that happens when a race looks weak, everyone comes into it, you know. So now you have horses coming back from chasing, you have horses stepping up in trip to go to it. And you know, obviously Super Sunday deserves to be favourite, but Penn Hill at 8-1 is not a bad bet, and I think Bacardi's is overpriced as well. I schooled him over hurdles again the same day as Penn Hill, and his chasing hasn't affected his hurdling technique. He's still very slick over them. He's working well. He just didn't take the chasing, and that can happen. You know, ironic to himself and Phineas Oscar both probably didn't really take the chasing. But I think that race he won in Punchestown was very good. He beat Phineas Oscar, he beat Let's Dance, he beat That Duty, and I think at 11-1 he's overpriced.
Okay, doke. Who would you put up, or do you think, Richie, do you think that Super Sunday here is a worthy favourite for
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I mean, if Yanworth hadn't gone chasing and kind of done a bit more to dent his reputation, maybe he'd be market leader at this stage, but he is where he is at the moment. Super Sunday, I thought they did the right thing by running him over 2 miles. I know that sounds like an obvious thing to say when he beat Faugheen, but I think he needed to be sharpened up. I think he's a bit leery as much as anything, and I think that'll stand to him. I think Sam Spinner is probably going to be vulnerable, you know, in a championship race again, making all good ground. It's not going to be what he's had for his last couple of runs, put it that way. And I think Robbie Power can ride a race on Super Sunday and ride him to get home. I know you need to stay. He's not. If he doesn't stay thoroughly, he's not going to win in the story. But I think he does stay. I just think he needed to be sharpened up a bit, and I think he'll ride a race on him. I think he's best horse in the race.
Do you think the Christmas race obviously sort of fell apart when poor Nicholas Canyon came down, but the way that didn't seem to run to suit. Like he clearly wanted to drop in, and then he just had to make a decision.
And then he led the filly in, like, and I mean, he basically gave her a lovely tow ultimately. So I mean, as I say, I just don't think Yanworth's preparation
everywhere from the last.
But Russell gave the filly a cute ride. If you watch it, he only picks up his stick in the last furlong, and that's.
He's a maestro.
To me, she's beaten him much easier than it looked. I don't think Super Sunday is worth the form.
Yeah. Do you think he's a bit leery though?
That's not a plus either, though, is it?
No, I'm not saying it is. Yeah, but I just thought Russell on the day gave the mare an absolute peach, and she won much easier than it appeared.
Yanworth is. I mean, if Yanworth had won at Aintree and gone hurdling this season, then this market could look very different. But you're taking a little bit on trust now, what he's going to do over hurdles at this stage.
Gavin, what are your thoughts on this race?
There's two horses I'm definitely going to lay at Cheltenham. One is Sam Spinner. To me, he's a very good horse, but he just stays going at the one pace the whole time. Like when you see that he won in Haydock and
Is
Heavy.
that no harm in a Stayers hurdle, though? Is it?
Yeah, but
could have been
unless
the
it came up
title.
really soft, which it won't, I can't see him win. Definitely not. Super Sunday, as Paul said, 0 from 2 at the trip is a worry. Has a good chance. It won the Coral Cup last year at 148, but you know, I just think maybe he's got too much gears nearly for a Stayers. Yanworth for me or Penn Hill. Yanworth is 8 from 10 over hurdles. He went off 2-1 favourite, believe it or not, to win last year's champion hurdle.
I think Barry Geraghty had chosen him as well, hadn't he, over Bouvier, or he was.
Yeah,
I think he was
he
leading
did,
that
he
one
did,
anyway,
he
yeah.
did. But he was quick enough to win a Christmas hurdle at Kempton 14 months ago. He's won over this trip at Aintree. He beat Super Sunday a length. But I happened to see the Bartlett earlier on today, and it was amazing how much at the second last how wide Penn Hill was pushed, and he still came to win very easily. So he's definitely, I think, the danger to Yanworth. His jumping when he ran over 2 miles it wasn't great, to be polite. But when he stepped up to 3 miles at Limerick and again in the Bartlett, his jumping was fine. So I think he's the danger along with Yanworth.
Well, are you going with Penn Hill? Sorry.
Yeah, I think I'm coming, slowly round to Penn Hill. I think the soft ground. I think you know what I mean. How he could end up looking a silly price, given that he went off odds on against Nichols Canyon last year, and I don't think there's a Nichols Canyon in here. You know, so you could make that argument. But again, he's another. Well, he could be, but he is another 10-year-old, and he hasn't been as good this season as he looked last season.
Yeah, Stayers hurdles can turn into those kind of lost soul societies, can't they?
Of course they can. Yeah. Of course they can. Yeah.